Today we're in the raised bed garden and we're going to harvest this garlic. It was planted last October and it grew steadily through the winter. We did have that Arctic blast that took out a few plants, but overall it looks great. Since it's underground, it's hard to tell when it's exactly ready, but the way you tell is look at the leaves at the bottom that are dying back. When the lower 2 or 3 leaves turn yellow or brown, or typically when half the leaves are brown and half are green, it is ready. If you wait too long, your bulbs won't have as many protective layers around the cloves and will result in shorter storage. Here in 8B, we typically harvest early summer, and it is in May that I'm doing this. Elephant garlic, and I did cut the scapes off about 4 weeks before this so that all the energy could go to the bulb production. This is elephant garlic. And we like to grow this here in the South because we do have trouble growing the other garlics. These bulbs here look great, and you will not see the individual bulbs until it has completely cured. This next bulb was actually harvested a little bit late, and you can see how it's already sprouting, as well as the next one. And you still can use it. You just need to use it right away. I'll put this in my freeze dryer and ground it up into some powder. Immediately after you harvest, lay it out in the hot sun for a full day. Spread into a single layer and make sure there's good airflow all around. Allow to cure until all the outer layers of the peel is papery and the neck of the garlic is brittle and dry. Here is some soft neck garlic, and I'll link the video where I planted this in the description below. I found this in Virginia, and I did put it in the fridge through the stratification process. I planted this 1st of November, and this first kind here is Kettle River. It's a complex like a hardneck, and it did well. I planted this in some mulch and just left it in here over winter. Pretty good sized bulbs here. This is the first time I've ever planted any of the soft neck garlic. The second kind here is Red Torch, and it was said it would grow well in all climates, streaked with a red-pink, ideal for raw preparations because of the mild flavor. I think it actually did the best of all. Some good sized cloves going on there. I didn't do a very good job keeping this fertilized, and I didn't water it because this bed usually stays damp. Here is the silver skin. Now it says that it's hot when eaten raw, but turns smooth and flavorful when cooked. So I can't wait to try it, but it did not. It's the smallest of all the soft necks I tried, but it can still be used. Next is the Lorez Italiano, and this is slightly red too, and it did rather well. Good sized cloves going on here. And it does say that it adapts well to hotter climates. So I think this is a one that I'll save some seed garlic and grow again. The last is the Chilean red. And it's mild with a lingering flavor, and it did well also. So I'm really pleased with my stand of soft neck garlic. I definitely will do this again next year. Again, I'll just lay this out in the sun for a full day and let it dry. After I did that, I did take it and braid it into some braids, and I'm going to store it just under the garage, hanging on the wall beside my cookhouse. And I'll have to share some recipes and let y'all know how well this tastes compared to the elephant garlic that we typically grow. Next, we're going to harvest these potatoes in this raised bed. Now, for the first time, I tried the Ruth Stout method, which is no fertilizer, no digging, no soil amendments. And I didn't quite stick by it. I did add some compost, but look at here, right up under the straw, you see the potatoes, and these are some red Norlands. And what's good about this is you don't have to dig down in the dirt. This is just some hay straw that I had that I put right on top of the soil, and then placed potatoes up under the straw. Some did better than others. These did really well. I got some rather large ones here. I was really pleased overall with the potato harvest. Now this one here didn't do as well. And also in this bed, in the middle I planted my potatoes, and then I had a fence panel on each side that I had my English peas. So they did really well together. I did pull up the English peas about a week ago. Here's some fingerling potatoes that did well. And I think this was a variety pack, and I just planted them all in here together. Not sure what kind this is. It was more of a white potato. I'll have to go back and look on my notes. And I should have weighed these, but I got this hod pretty much full of potatoes in this 4x8 bed. And I did have drip irrigation on both rows of the English peas, but not necessarily on the potatoes. We use these in a low country bowl later that week, and we bake some. Look at this little worm. This is some healthy soil here. I love to see when I find worms in my soil. It helps me know that they're doing really good. So here is my final harvest. And now let me show you what else is going on in the raised bed garden. Here's my Roselle, and I just planted it along this fence line this year. It's doing great. I didn't plant as much as I did last year. It's my butterfly bush, some roses. I've got another Roselle here and on the other side, and I may have planted that too close to that bush there. Here is some lemon drop, which is called the toothache plant, and my tomatillos that I planted in a root pouch. Some little birdie tomatoes with some basil, and you'll notice here I just put basil everywhere. My calendula is on the way out with the hot days we've been having. Here is just a mixture of bell peppers, poblano peppers. I've got some red Mad Hatter in here, but look how big these peppers are. Here's some more. I have a little pest damage going on here. I'm not sure if that's some worms or some rabbits. The basil's looking good. This is where the garlic was in this 4x8 that we harvested earlier. I have sunflowers in there. Zinnias are in the next bed. And the next bed I have slicer cucumbers, the halcinator, with some sunflowers and some basil. Here is my tomato jungle. Now this year I planted a bunch of varieties that we don't carry that we're trialing from Wild War Farms. Here is a cherry tomato that is a Napa Chardonnay. I love it. This is called a large bared boar. I have some pink Berkeley tie-dye that we really love. And I have some peppers and zinnias and basil all amongst this. There's my strawberry bed that's on its way out. Here's some blue beauty and black beauty, and these, the taste on these are incredible also. Look at that color. It's just so vibrant and amazing. Now these are indeterminates, which typically don't do well. I don't know if it's the raised beds, but they have done awesome. Here's some more of the Napa Chardonnay. This is a black beauty, and some of these are completely black. Here's where my potatoes were. I planted sunflowers. Here is some more cherry tomatoes. Berry's Crazy Cherry, some Brad's Atomic Grape, and some Blue Boar berries that are absolutely stunning, but I do not like the taste. I will not be planting these again. They turn blue, then green, then red, and they look like they would taste delicious, but I was very disappointed in this variety. But it was fun growing it to see how it does. This is how they turn finally red when they're ready. And here's my volunteer petunia that's kind of took over the end of this garden. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the raised beds, what's going on this time of year, the garlic harvest, the potato harvest. Here is the fig trees, and next time I'll be showing you what I've got going on in the new potager kitchen garden.